Welcome into sports. I'm AJ Myers. Anytime someone starts riding a bike, they typically use training wheels, but after a while, that safety cushion is gone. For Syracuse quarterback Ricky Collins, the training wheels are off for the first time in the redshirt sophomore's collegiate career. With QB1 Steve Angeli out for the season, Collins makes his first ever start on a collegiate field. Well, we know Fran Brown hates to lose, so much so that he may skip a shower. Here's what the coach had to say immediately following the loss to Tennessee. With no ice on the floor and money already spent to repair the East rink, Scott had to skate elsewhere. What was the decision to change the quarterbacks? And he simply said the team needed a spark, and I think everyone could agree with that. That first half, the offense just was not lively at all. The only reason Syracuse scored was because of that interception. Ricky Collins simply could not get this team in the red zone. He goes with Luke Carney to start the third quarter. They needed a spark. Now, here's the other interesting part that Fran Brown said. He said that Luke Carney doesn't know much of the playbook. That's why Ricky Collins came back into this game, and that either quarterback really knows much of a playbook, and they're still in a developmental phase. Quarterback this season for Syracuse football has been a game of whack-a-mole. Welcome into sports. I'm AJ Myers. Each week, no one is sure which name is running out onto the field to lead the offense. Since starter Steve Angeli went down against Clemson, the Orange have played 3 different QBs. Ranked Tennessee is no easy start to a campaign, especially with a new quarterback. Tomorrow, Syracuse welcomes UConn, and it's not basketball, so it should be no problem. Think again. The Huskies gave the Orange all they could handle last year. Kyle McCord needed to throw for over 400 yards, so SU could escape with a 31-24 victory. From afar, this looks like a typical warm-up, but once the skates are on, this is a totally different atmosphere. This is Salt City Roller Derby, a part of the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. And since 2006, Salt City has brought numerous skaters together.
I started playing in 2019 on Long Island. I started with the Long Island Roller Rebels. When I moved up here, I was looking for another derby team to get back in. I just found this team and they became a community for me living up here.
That is Shoves Ferratu. You heard that right, Shoves Ferratu, because across the league, everyone has their own unique derby name. Salt City's best include Shakespeare in the skate park, Buzzball, and everyone's favorite, Unholy Ravioli.
When you finish Freshie Boot Camp, you get given a name, and usually there's like a theme. So when I did boot camp, the theme was pasta. So there was like a ziti, there was like a lasagna, and then I got ravioli. And I couldn't think of like a real derby name. So like a year later, I was still just ravioli and everyone was calling me Rav. So I was like, I guess this is just my name. So I added the unholy part to make it like more of a real derby name.
While it gets pretty competitive out here on the floor, the most important aspect this group has formed is its togetherness.
Everyone is really great. It's probably like the most unique and interesting group of people you'll ever meet.
We're like just a big family. We all have similar values and kind of just all get along. Also, playing a full contact sport is very helpful to kind of cope just with things in general.
I think part of it comes from the fact that we got to be right up on each other for the actual playing of the game. You got to be comfortable with people if you're going to be sticking your butt in their face, or then pushing on someone's butt who has stuck it in your face.
Win or lose, Salt City is never pushing the value of togetherness away. Reporting in Syracuse, I'm AJ Myers, NCC News. Yeah, Adam, it was another great display from Kyan Anthony today, and I spoke to him after the game, and he says a big thing for him is being aggressive early on, and you saw that right away. He's getting to the cup. He's doing those pretty step backs inside the paint. Everything is going really well right now for Kyan Anthony, and of course, his dad was here. They got a big round of applause when he walked out. So it's kind of a cool mojo thing, I think, that's going on right now for Syracuse. With Kyan and Carmelo being at every game so far, it's something certainly this team didn't have last year. And I think I speak for everyone. I don't think anyone really expected Cayenne to be this good so early on. But once again, another really impressive display against Drexel.
AJ, thank you so much for joining us. You talk about people not expecting Cayenne to be this good. Maybe some people expected Nate Kings to be a little bit better. He struggled on and off this season. The shots weren't necessarily falling again today. I'm curious what you thought about Nate Kings' performance against Drexel.
Yeah, so Milo, I spoke to Nate Kings after the game, and he was really honest with me. He said, yeah, usually I'm hitting these kind of shots. It's not quite working for him just yet. But he's doing well in the offense. When he's running up and down the floor and he's in the offense, he's getting shots up. I think it's only a matter of time. It's when those three-pointers start falling down, because that's what he did against Oregon State. He was a really good three-point shooter. I think it's going to happen for him. It's just early on. He's still getting adjusted, but he doesn't seem too frazzled. I think he still has plenty of confidence in himself. Just from talking with him, he seems to be okay. I think he knows things are going to get on track for him, and if they do, that's just another addition to an already really good Syracuse offense. Welcome to NCC Sports. I'm AJ Myers. ACC play so far for Syracuse men's basketball has been filled with nail-biters. 3 of the 4 games have been decided by 10 or fewer points, and the one that was not was just an 11-point victory over Pitt. A trip to Chestnut Hill continued the trimming of nails. Captain J.J. Starling says he feels he's played his best basketball in recent days, but no one has played better than Donnie Freeman, getting the and-one contact to put the Cuse up early. But the story of the game for the Orange would be the turnovers. Nate George coughing it up, leading to an Aiden Shaw dunk that gives the Eagles the lead. Yet SU went into the halftime locker room up 5. Midway through the second frame, Nate Kings heated up from beyond the arc, canning a season-high 5 triples. Yet Boston College proved to be pesky all game long. Fred Payne navigating through the traffic for 2, locked up at 55. It would be Kings again. This time, though, he's doing it in the paint. With 12 seconds left, though, BC needed a basket. Where would they go? They shot the 3-ball pretty well all day. Donald Hand Jr., 4-3, down it goes. We got overtime. I told you it was another nail-biter. In the extra session, a posterizing dunk from Jaden Hastings, and that would do it for the Orange, scoring just 9 points in OT, falling to the Eagles 81-73. Here's Coach Adrian Autry on the problems down the stretch.
We didn't finish the game the way we needed to finish the game. It's going to be close games like this all year, and we have to be able to come through and get those done and finish those. And we didn't do the job tonight. You can't win and beat anybody with 18 turnovers, right? Like 18 turnovers and the turnovers that led to points. And I thought that was the difference.
The defeat is Syracuse's second quad 3 blunder of the year. The Cuse are back Wednesday night against Virginia Tech. To the gridiron, the divisional round of the NFL playoffs commenced this weekend, and even with all the injuries, the Bills found themselves just a game away from back-to-back AFC title games. All that stood in their way was a trip to the Mile High versus the top-seeded Broncos. Could this finally be the year Josh Allen gets over the hump? Denver just 1 home defeat this season. Late fourth quarter, Josh Allen connects with his tight end, Dalton Kincaid. Allen, 3 TD passes on the day. A minute left. This time it's Bo Nix lofting into the end zone for Marvin Mims Jr. Nix, he also had a hat trick of TDs. Then late in the fourth quarter, Matt Prater kicks through a game-tying 31-yard field goal. How about some more overtime on this Saturday? The Bills have played close games all year. Josh Allen at midfield, dropping back. He's looking for Brandon Cooks, making the catch, right? No, it's intercepted. They're going to be talking about this one all week. I don't know. You be the judge on that one. Either way, it would put Denver at midfield late in this game. The Broncos would then be set up with a game-winning field goal, an easy chip shot. The heartbreak would continue for Buffalo. They just can't seem to get the job done. On the NFC side, the Seahawks took on the 49ers, and how about this start from Seattle? Rashid Shaheed, opening kickoff, 95 yards. You could not ask for a better start at home for the top-seeded Seahawks, and For the 49ers, they would be struggling all game long. Sam Darnold dropping back, finding his man, Jackson Smith-Njigba, just getting it in there in the corner of the end zone. In Seattle, they've had a great offense all season long, but their defense is what's really stood out. Brock Purdy, late in the fourth quarter, loses the football. The 49ers, they would not find the end zone the entire game, losing this one 41-6. On the ice, the Crunch went south to face the Lehigh Valley Phantom. Midway through the second period, Syracuse, they get on the board thanks to a strike from Dylan Duke that just sneaks in around the post. Later in the frame, Tristan Allnard right in front of the goal. He's going to slot it home easily. 2-0 advantage for the Crunch. The Phantom, though, they would come back in the third period. A 2-1 game, bit of a messy goal here for Tommy Miller, but hey, they all count the same. Syracuse would tack on one later and take home a 4-1 victory. That's all the time we have in sports. Thanks so much.